the U16 team, I remember they always talk about the senior national team, and obviously that's every young girl's dream when you're on those teams. And they talk a lot about that team, and only like one or two of us was ever probably going to be able to get a call up to be on the team, or let alone be able to get a call up to come and be a part of the camp and be around the tremendous players that they have had on their teams over the course of the many years and the many gold medals that they've won. And
check out those shots, that form. Paige Buchers is moving like a young Diana Taurasi, and I'm not exaggerating. Her mid-range jumper, deadly, absolutely deadly. But while everyone's glued to the highlight reels coming out of Durham, North Carolina, there's something almost no one is talking about. Day one of Team USA's training camp didn't exactly light up the 5 engagement charts. And that's prompting some serious questions about the current state of women's basketball.
We have been waiting for is officially here, guys. Now, the results from yesterday was decent, you know what I'm saying? But I would have liked it to see more engagement. I would like to see more fanfare. So the views and the engagement that was coming out across the board with the entire WNBA announcement of this Team USA was kind of low. Now, I'm going to be monitoring this whole situation throughout the duration of this offseason. I feel as if the excitement for women's basketball is definitely at a decline. Now, Caitlin Clark is back. Now, we just got a measure of how many people is still interested in wanting.
Yesterday's results were solid, but the buzz just wasn't there. Social media views, engagement. On the official WNBA accounts for the Team USA roster announcement, it was surprisingly low. And that raises some important questions. Not long ago, we were seeing Caitlin Clark draw 3 million viewers for regular season games. The excitement was off the charts. Now, it's noticeably dropped. The real question is whether this is just a typical off-season lull, or if something deeper is shifting with the women's basketball audience.
At the U16 team, I remember they always talk about the senior national team, and obviously that's every young girl's dream when you're on those teams. And they talk a lot about that team, and only like one or two of us was ever probably going to be able to get a call up to be on the team, or let alone be able to get a call up to come and be a part of the camp and be around the tremendous players that they have had on their teams over the course of the many years and the many gold medals that they've won. And so I think for myself, like, that's kind of what you start thinking about, is like how long I've kind of been involved in USA basketball and the journey that it's been. I've been on teams, and then I've had moments where I've been cut and I haven't been on teams. So you experience all of it. And I think that also speaks to how great USA basketball is and how dominant they are. Like, there's so many amazing players that have been a part of it and have worn the 3 letters across their chest. And, for me, you never take that for granted. So I'm super excited to be back.
There she is, Caitlin Clark, reflecting on her journey with USA basketball all the way back to the U16 team. She talks about how only 1 or 2 players from those youth squads ever make it to the senior national team. She's faced cuts before. She knows both sides of that experience. And you can hear the genuine gratitude in her voice for being back in this spot. But while Caitlin nails every answer about being thankful and excited, there's a huge elephant in buzz. The room that could overshadow it all, the CBA negotiations, are still unresolved. We don't even know for sure if the 2025 season will happen. Pause for a moment and let that sink in. We're watching Team USA train for international competition, while the WNBA itself might not exist in its current form next year.
Good. She looked damn good. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. She looked like a young Diana Taurasi, bro. That mid-range shot she got is nasty. She looked hella good, y'all. I ain't gonna never ish on Paige, because I know, like, a lot of people might want to, bro. A lot of people be wanting to pin her against Caitlin and stuff, but
Paige Buchers looks absolutely unstoppable in these clips. That shooting form, flawless. And while a lot of people love pushing a rivalry storyline between her and Caitlin Clark, the reality is, much bigger, these 2 elite talents together are making Team USA downright dominant. The real headline from day 2 in Durham is depth. Aliyah Boston is looking sharp, Paige is depth. Raining threes, and Angel Reese is bringing that unmatched intensity. This isn't about a single star anymore. And maybe that's part of the reason engagement feels different. When Caitlin was carrying the fever through the WNBA season, everyone had a clear story to follow. Now, the talent is spread across the roster, and casual fans might not know where to lock in their attention.
USA Sonia Citron, she really do kind of look like Caitlin Clark. I ain't gonna lie, they definitely kind of favor each other. Who is that? You got Angel Reese on there. Chris Brinkley. So this is some of the videos that came out today. Let me see if I can blow this up. Aaliyah Boston.
Sonia Citron clearly has a little bit of Caitlin Clark energy in her game, but the bigger story is the roster itself. You've got layers of talent spanning generations, seasoned veterans who've been through multiple Olympic cycles, rookies fresh off their first WNBA season, and college stars like Paige Buchers ready to make the leap. The media presence in Durham is massive. Leslie Perlman from ESPN is covering it. Amy Costello from The Athletic is on the scene, and Annie Costabelli is sharing non-stop footage. Access is wide open, and the content is flowing. So this isn't about a lack of coverage. The reporters are doing everything right. The real question is whether the audience that followed Caitlin Clark all season in the WNBA will actually tune in for Team USA basketball during the off-season.
Here goes some more clips here. Now this one right here is from Annie Costabile. Let's see this one here.
Watch Caitlin Clark coming off that screen, the footwork, the balance, the release. These are the subtle details that separate great shooters from generational ones. And in these training camp clips, it's clear why USA Basketball wanted her on this roster, despite all the drama from last summer's Olympic snub. But let's talk about viewership. Day 1 of training camp didn't hit the numbers people expected, and day 2 is following a similar trend. There are a few reasons for this. First, it's December. The WNBA season wrapped in October. Casual fans who tuned in for Caitlin during the playoffs have likely shifted to other sports. Second, this is training camp, not actual games. There are no wins, no losses, and very little drama beyond practice. And third, this one is tricky. Some of Caitlin's audience was following her, not women's basketball as a whole.
No, I definitely feel like Team USA basketball is going to win it all. I don't think no other team in the world is better than them. I just got to keep it real. I know some people might think otherwise because they're not from our country, but I feel like Team USA basketball look hella good, and they're definitely going to be putting the beats on teams, bro. It's just that simple. Our team is just so much better. We're just so...
That third factor is exactly why the CBA negotiations are so crucial right now. The WNBA just finished its most watched season ever, and Caitlin Clark played a huge role in that surge. But if the league can't build on this momentum, whether due to a work stoppage or disagreements over revenue sharing, this growth could hit a wall. The players are pushing for a bigger share of basketball-related income, better travel conditions, and more investment in marketing. The owners counter that the WNBA still runs at a loss. Even with rising viewership, they argue the new media rights deal with Disney, Amazon, and NBC needs time to generate actual profit before higher salaries can be sustained. Here's where it gets tricky. The new media deal is worth $2.2 billion over 11 years, roughly $200 million per year, a huge jump from the previous contract. But players are comparing this to the NBA and saying it's still not enough. Their question is simple: why should women's basketball accept a smaller slice of the pie when it's delivering real ratings and real revenue right now?
That was pretty much day 2, man. Get down in the comment section. Let me know y'all thoughts about this one. Keep them bells on. I will be back with another one. And like always, man, to tell
Team USA is set to dominate. That's not even up for debate. The talent gap between the US and other countries in women's basketball remains massive. But the more intriguing question is whether international competition can capture the same attention the WNBA season generated. Here's what the WNBA viewership data tells us. Caitlin Clark's games consistently drew over 1 million viewers. Games without her fell back to the league's usual baseline, around 400,000. That's a huge difference. It shows that while the WNBA is growing overall, a significant chunk of that growth is tied directly to one transcendent star. And that's not inherently bad. Every sport has players who bring in casual fans. Michael Jordan did it for the NBA, Tiger Woods for golf, Serena Williams for tennis. The real challenge for the WNBA is whether it can convert Caitlin Clark's audience into broader, lasting fans of the league. Now, let's consider the CBA negotiations. The current agreement runs through 2025, but either side could opt out earlier. Players have been vocal about poor travel conditions, salary, structures, and revenue sharing. Owners emphasize the financial reality of running a league that's still building its audience. Even a short work stoppage could cripple momentum. The WNBA just signed a massive media rights deal, just set records in ratings, and just proved women's basketball can attract a mainstream audience. Letting a labor dispute derail all of that would be disastrous. The players' grievances are valid. They're flying commercial while generating millions in dues. Revenue, staying in mid-tier hotels while NBA players enjoy luxury accommodations, and earning six-figure salaries while male counterparts make millions. They want more than incremental improvements, they want transformative change. Owners, meanwhile, are looking at the numbers. They point out that revenue from the media rights deal doesn't hit immediately and argue the league needs stability before committing to major salary hikes. Their concern, given too quickly and the league might not be sustainable long term. So, where does that leave us? Team USA's training camp continues in Durham. Players are preparing for international competition, the media is covering it, and content is flowing, but casual fans haven't fully locked in yet. This brings us back to the big question: was the WNBA's record-breaking season a turning point for the league? Or was it mainly a Caitlin Clark phenomenon that won't necessarily translate to long-term growth? The answer probably lies somewhere in between. Off-season viewership patterns will be telling. If Team USA games draw strong ratings, it shows fans are committed to high-level women's basketball, not just one player. If the numbers disappoint, it's a warning sign that the league needs to broaden its appeal beyond a single star. CBA negotiations are happening amid all this uncertainty. Players want to strike while momentum is high, aiming for meaningful improvements in pay and conditions. Owners want caution, prioritizing sustainable growth before taking on commitments they can't support. Both sides have valid points, but both must find a compromise because a work stoppage now would waste the progress of 2024. Watch closely over the next few months. Watch if Team USA generates the engagement the WNBA season did. Watch if casual fans drawn in by Caitlin Clark stick around for the league as a whole. Watch if the CBA negotiations lead to a fair deal or if conflict derails everything. The stakes have never been higher. The WNBA has a real shot at cementing itself as a major professional league, but with that opportunity comes risk. How the league handles this moment will determine whether 2024 is remembered as the year women's basketball truly broke through or the year it peaked before, sliding back. So, what do you think? Are you still tuned into women's basketball now that the season's over? Will you be watching Team USA compete internationally? Do you side with the players or the owners on the CBA negotiations? Drop your thoughts in the comments. The conversation is just getting started.